Once upon a time, in a quiet little town, there was a super cool red car named Speedy. Speedy was the fastest car in the whole neighborhood, and all the kids loved to watch it zoom down the streets. But one sunny Saturday afternoon, something happened that Speedy didn't like at all. It got a flat tire. Speedy was driving down the bumpy road, trying to impress all the other cars with its speed, when suddenly, it felt a big thud. Speedy's tire had gone flat. Speedy stopped right in the middle of the road and frowned. "Oh no," Speedy said, feeling a bit scared. Just then, a friendly dog named Max came over and said, "Hey Speedy, don't worry, I'll help you change your flat tire." Max was a clever pup, and he knew a lot about cars. Speedy and Max got to work. First, they found the spare tire in the trunk of Speedy's car. It was all dusty, but it would do the job. Max grabbed a big wrench and started loosening the bolts. On the flat tire, Speedy watched with big eyes, trying to learn how to do it. "See, Speedy, it's not so hard," Max said with a wag of his tail. "Now let's lift the car with this jack." Max placed the jack under Speedy and began pumping it up. Slowly, Speedy's car started rising into the air. Speedy was amazed at how Max knew what to do. "You're really smart, Max," Speedy said with a smile. With the car lifted, Max took off the flat tire and put on the spare tire. It took a bit of effort, but they finally got it on. Max tightened the bolts with the wrench, making sure it was secure. "There you go, Speedy, your tire is all fixed," Max said proudly. Speedy was so happy and thankful. "Well, Max, you're my hero. Thanks for helping me out." Max wagged his tail happily. "No problem, Speedy. That's what friends are for." Speedy and Max went on their way, driving down the road together. With Speedy's new spare tire, Speedy realized that sometimes even the coolest cars need a little help from their friends. And from that day on, Speedy always drove a bit more carefully, so it wouldn't get another flat tire. But if it did, Speedy knew that Max would be there to save the day. As Speedy and Max continued down the road, they noticed something strange up ahead. There was a group of kids playing near a broken-down bicycle. It seemed like one of the kids had a flat tire too, just like Speedy had earlier. Speedy had an idea. "Hey, Max, do you think we should stop and help them out, just like you helped me?" Max barked in agreement, and they pulled over to the side of the road. Speedy and Max hopped out of the car, and Speedy approached the group of kids. "Hey there! It looks like you have a flat tire on your bike. We can help you fix it." The kids looked surprised and excited to see a talking car and a helpful dog. One of the kids, named Jenny, said, "Wow, that would be awesome. We were trying to figure out how to fix it ourselves." Speedy and Max got to work, just like they had done earlier. Max fetched the wrench from Speedy's trunk, while Speedy explained the steps to the kids. They all worked together to change the flat tire on the bicycle. As they were finishing up, one of the other kids, named Tommy, asked, "Why did you stop to help us, Speedy? You're the coolest car in town." Speedy smiled and replied, "Well, Tommy, sometimes even the coolest cars need help too. My friend Max here helped me when I had a flat tire, and now we wanted to help you. It's important to be kind and help each other out." The kids were grateful for Speedy and Max's help. They thanked them and rode away on the fixed bicycle, waving goodbye. Speedy and Max watched them go with smiles on their faces. Speedy realized that being a hero wasn't just about being fast and cool. It was also about being kind and helping others when they needed it. From that day on, Speedy and Max became known as the friendliest and most helpful duo in the neighborhood. They were always ready to lend a hand or a paw whenever someone needed it. And so, Speedy and Max continued their adventures. Not just as a fast car and a clever dog, but also as true friends who knew that helping others was the coolest thing of all. Speedy and Max's reputation for being kind and helpful quickly spread throughout the town. Kids and adults alike started to look up to them as role models, not just for their speed and cleverness, but also for their big hearts. One sunny afternoon, Speedy and Max were driving through the town when they heard a loud siren in the distance. They knew that sound was the fire truck from the local fire station. Speedy and Max quickly followed the sound of the sirens and saw a big crowd gathered around a building with thick smoke pouring out of the firefighters where a Speedy fire chief was. Speedy and Max didn't hesitate. They drove carefully up to the building and used their headlights to guide their way through the thick smoke with Max's sharp sense of smell and Speedy's speed. They quickly found the documents and carefully carried them out of the building to safety. The firefighters and the people in the crowd cheered as Speedy and Max emerged from the smoke with the important documents. The fire chief thanked them and said, "You two are real heroes." Speedy blushed a little and replied, "We're just doing what friends do, helping out when it's needed the most." After the fire was finally extinguished, Speedy and Max were hailed as heroes not just in the neighborhood but in the entire town. They learned that being a hero wasn't just about fixing flat tires or helping with bicycles. It was about being there when people needed you the most, no matter the circumstances. From that day forward, Speedy and Max continued to use their skills and kind hearts to help those in need. They became local legends, and everyone knew that if they were in trouble, Speedy and Max would be there to lend a hand or a paw just like they always had been. And so, the adventures of Speedy the car and Max the dog continued, reminding everyone that being a hero wasn't about being the fastest or the smartest. It was about being a good friend and helping others in times of trouble. As Speedy and Max continued their heroic adventures, they found themselves facing new challenges and making new friends along the way. One sunny morning, they received a special invitation from the town's animal shelter. The shelter was hosting an adoption event to find homes for homeless animals, and they needed Speedy and Max's help to make it a success. Excited to lend a hand and a wheel, Speedy and Max arrived at the shelter, which was buzzing with activity. Dogs, cats, and even some rabbits were all looking for loving families to take them in. Speedy and Max decided to use their unique skills to help the animals find their forever homes. Excited to lend a hand and a wheel, Speedy and Max arrived at the shelter, which was buzzing with activity. Dogs, cats, and even some rabbits were all looking for loving families to take them in. Speedy and Max decided to use their unique skills to help the animals find their forever homes. Speedy offered to give rides to families interested in adopting a pet. He took them on scenic drives around town, giving them a chance to bond with the animals and see how they would fit into their lives. Max, on the other hand, used his charm and friendly demeanor to play with the children who came to the shelter, showing them how wonderful it would be to have a furry friend. As the day went on, Speedy and Max saw many happy families leaving the shelter with new pets in tow. There was laughter and joy in the air as these animals found loving homes. One little girl named Lily was having a hard time deciding which dog to adopt. She had met several friendly dogs but just couldn't make up her mind. Speedy and Max noticed her dilemma and decided to help. Speedy drove Lily around the town one more time, and Max spent time playing with her and the dogs. Finally, they stopped at a park, and Lily had a heart-to-heart talk with Max. She told him all about her hopes and dreams, and Max listened intently, wagging his tail. Lily finally made her decision and said, "Max, I think you're the perfect dog for me. You're not just friendly, you're also a great listener. And I need a friend like you." Tears of joy filled Lily's eyes as she hugged Max tightly. She had found her furry best friend, and Max had found his forever home. The adoption event was a huge success, and many animals found loving families that day, thanks to Speedy and Max's help. The town celebrated their efforts, and Speedy and Max were hailed as heroes once again. From that day on, Speedy and Max continued to use their unique talents to help those in need. Whether it was fixing flat tires, rescuing important documents from fires, or finding homes for homeless animals, they knew that being a hero wasn't just about strength or speed. It was about using their hearts to make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. And so, the adventures of Speedy the car and Max the dog continued, reminding everyone that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes they're right in your own neighborhood, ready to lend a paw or a wheel whenever you need them.